Brothers and sisters can form a lifelong bond that is strong enough to weather all kinds of tragedies and triumphs. But when those family ties turn sour, they can become fiercely toxic. This is a tale of two brothers whose lifelong rivalry escalated to a conflict that resulted in the murder of a Colorado woman who got caught in the crossfire. Before we begin, we would like to extend our deepest sympathies to the family and loved ones of the victim in this case, Veronica Sarinana. Christopher Moffat and Veronica Sarinana were in a relationship for 4 turbulent years. The good times were punctuated by Chris's violent outbursts. Despite his brutality against Veronica, Chris viewed their coupling as a beautiful love story. In reality, it was far from a storybook romance. In January of 2019, 5 months before Veronica was murdered, police arrested Chris for assaulting her. She told investigators he had been physically abusive to her more than 100 times over the course of their relationship. The most common method he used for hurting her was to force her down on her back and cover her mouth and nose with his hand so she couldn't breathe. The first time he strangled her, she lost consciousness. Chris was arrested in January for the incident. That charge, however, was dismissed in April. The following day, he assaulted Veronica again. He pled guilty to felony assault and was sentenced to 3 years probation. Veronica was granted a protection order. Soon, Chris was back in jail, this time for a drug charge. When he got out on June the 12th, he reached out to his old flame, Veronica, again, undeterred by her protection order. He had nowhere to go, so Veronica rented a series of hotel rooms for Chris in the communities outside of Denver, including Thornton and Brighton. Veronica was kind and generous to Chris in his time of need, but she would pay a deadly price for that compassion. Hotel security video from the afternoon of June the 17th shows one of the last times Veronica was seen alive. She is paying for the room while Chris walks by wearing a white collared shirt and a gray t-shirt layered over it. The t-shirt had the words "Serial Tillers" printed on the back. On the afternoon of June the 18th, Veronica visited Chris at his hotel. They picked up Chinese food and a 6-pack of beer for an hour-long picnic at scenic Lake Dillon. But there was a dark cloud hanging over them that day. Chris started to suspect that Veronica and his brother had been hooking up while he was in jail. He was hurt and angry. Chris wanted Veronica all to himself. He tried to convince her to skip town with him, to run away and start fresh. He was still on probation, living under the terms and conditions required, but he told her that he was willing to go on the lam to be with her. Veronica refused his offer. Chris lost control of his temper again. Only this time he couldn't or wouldn't stop himself before it was too late. Veronica would never take another breath. The medical examiner later determined that she died from manual strangulation. Veronica was just 38 years old. Her 2 sons from a previous relationship were left to grieve their mother's untimely passing. Chris knew that he was in deep trouble, worse than he had ever faced before. He started to form a harebrained plan, a desperate attempt to escape the consequences of what he had done. He decided to set up his brother, Frank Moffat, who went by Kelly, to be the unwitting scapegoat. He would try to convince investigators that Kelly had killed Veronica in a jealous rage. Chris later told police that Kelly had bullied him since he was a child, beating him up and picking on him. What he didn't admit to police was that this frame-up was his chance to get even, both to settle old grievances and for the recent betrayal with Veronica. The story Chris fabricated for detectives is that he dropped Veronica off at his brother's house around midnight on June the 18th, and that he reluctantly but peacefully accepted her decision to be with Kelly. That evening, text messages were sent from Veronica's cell to Kelly's. In an affidavit connected to the case, investigators implied Chris may have sent those texts. Chris was spotted on a security camera loitering around Kelly's house around 1:30 in the morning on June the 19th, but Veronica was nowhere to be seen. Kelly lived in Arvada, a suburb about 12 miles northwest of Denver. Later that morning, Chris returned to his brother's home, this time to plant evidence. In this video, Chris can be seen hanging Veronica's purse on the dog gate at Kelly's door. Kelly and his housemates found that purse the next morning but didn't know that Veronica was lying dead nearby. The next step in Chris's scheme to frame Kelly was placing a 911 call to report there had been suspicious activity and a disturbance the previous night at Kelly's house. About 20 minutes later, another 911 call came in from the Rising Church, located a few miles away. An employee there told the operator that a man matching Chris's description had walked into the church claiming his brother had killed his girlfriend and stashed the body in his car. Police descended on the scene of Kelly's home to search for the vehicle. They found the white Ford Escort parked near his home. Veronica's body was in the back seat, hidden under garbage bags and a rolled-up carpet destined for the dump. Kelly later told police he had loaded the broken-down beater with the trash because he knew it was going to be towed away. Based on the 911 calls, police moved in to arrest Frank Kelly Moffat. He didn't get a friendly knock on the door. Given the corpse in his car, his arrest was handled with caution. He was treated as a dangerous suspect. First, the officers fired flashbang grenades to attract attention, then loudly commanded him to exit the home.
Urbana PD! Make yourself known! Urbana PD, make yourself known! All occupants of 6431, this is the Urbana Police Department! Hey, Al, keep coming.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Keep coming. Who else is inside with you?
I don't know who else is in there.
Keep coming. Keep your hands up. Walk. Turn around. Face the other way. Back up towards me until I tell you to stop.
Right now?
Keep walking towards me
Okay.
until I tell you to stop.
Okay.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Drop to your knee. Keep walking. A little more. A little more. A little more. Keep walking.
What's going on?
Stop right there. Get on your knees. Cross your legs. Hands in the air. No. Keep your hands in the air.
As police arrested and questioned his brother for murder, Chris used his downtime to lay more groundwork for the Kelly setup. He drove around the area, stopping at libraries to email lovelorn messages to Veronica, begging her to run away with him to give the impression that he believed she was still alive. He didn't own a phone, but he called from places that he stopped at along the way, including a casino. He detailed some of his movements in a police interview.
And then the next morning I got up. I went a few places in town, over to a library, and then I hit another town. And I stopped in Georgetown and used the library there and emailed Veronica. I tried calling her one other time. I stopped in Frisco. I I think I emailed her from the library at in Frisco, and maybe in Silverthorne. And she wouldn't answer my calls. She wouldn't answer my emails.
Detectives recovered this voicemail Chris left for Veronica.
Hey, babes. I know that we said that we weren't going to contact each other, but I just wanted to call and ask to see if maybe you'd change your mind one more time. You know, that was a really nice date that we had. You know, I understand you wanting to choose Kelly over me because he treats you better, but he just wants you to do drugs. The only reason that I ran from my problems here was to try to keep you away from drugs and him. He's a bad person. He's been bad his whole life. So, I don't know. I might try to email you. But it's never too late. Just don't go with him. Come with me. You know? Don't choose the drugs and the stuff over, you know, that's what I wanted. I wanted to get you sober. That's what everything. That's why, you know, when we had that incident, I threw your drugs in the toilet because you act like a totally different bad person. And they're bad for you, and your face doesn't look as beautiful. You know, when you quit doing them, you get better, please. Whatever you do. Thanks for helping me out with the car, and as soon as I get the money to buy it, I'll send you the title. Or send me the title, and I'll send you the cash first, like we talked about. And I'll always love you, babes. I mean, babes forever. So, Kelly, I say.
Chris's explanation for why he was driving around in Veronica's car was that she felt bad about betraying him with his brother. To make amends, she turned her vehicle over to him so he could leave town. But that contradicts his own statements to police that the reason he was planning to skip probation was to support Veronica's well-being. If she wasn't willing to go, then why would he need her car to leave? Chris stated that he agreed to send Veronica $2,000 for her car when he had the money, and she would send the title in exchange. Police asked Chris to provide a timeline. He claimed he took Veronica to his brother's place in the car and dropped her off around midnight. He then drove around the mouth of the Black Rock Canyon and slept in the car. When detectives informed Chris that Veronica was the victim of a murder investigation, he faked surprised reactions.
Well, I want to talk to you, but I don't want to waive my rights.
Okay. Well, that's your choice. I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're here to talk to you because Veronica's dead.
We just want to chat about it now. What fucking mean, dude? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
No, I wouldn't. We didn't drive all the way up here, you know, just to joke with you. You know what I mean? We're investigating her death. And you can understand why we would want to talk to you because you're in her, you know, obviously you were arrested tonight with her car, and you had made some statements to these guys here that you last saw her, last night. Okay, so you're potentially one of the last people to see her alive, and so we're trying to figure out what happened and what's going on. I'm not accusing you of anything, but we're just, obviously, we want to...
What you need to do is you need to look through the fucking information. You need to go through her fucking messages. You need to go through her phone. You need to go through her email. My fucking brother is a piece of shit, dude. And she's been two-timing both of us. You look into what she's been doing. And she picked my brother. She gave me $300. We went and ate dinner at Summit County. And she was going to give me her car so I can run away. Because I was running from my probation. Me and her were supposed to run away together. And she chose to stay with my brother. Okay?
But there was a huge hole in Chris's plan to frame Kelly. The same security camera that caught Chris lurking around Kelly's place the night that Veronica died also exonerated Kelly. It proved he had not left the house all evening. And although Chris said he dropped Veronica off there, she did not appear on the recording. Kelly told the detectives he believed Chris was framing him because of his relationship with Veronica, and he admitted to sleeping with her once in April. When Kelly could prove he had an ironclad alibi captured on videotape, he was released that same day. Police quickly zeroed in on Christopher Moffat as the most likely suspect. Their hunch wasn't much of a leap considering the domestic violence charges involving Veronica that were on his record. Chris tried to present himself as a reliable truth teller, but the detectives weren't convinced.
My life might not be so savory or look so well, but I am an honest person, and I know that even talking to me, I know you gentlemen understand, I'm not full of shit. You know what I mean? I've chosen to be a good person. I'm extremely smart, and words don't stumble out of my mouth for a reason. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Because I don't have a place where I keep all my bullshit files, dude. You know what I mean? And life comes at me, unfortunately, in such a way that it's hard to make it bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
On June the 19th, the same day Veronica's body was found, Glenwood Springs police officers tracked down Chris. He was in Veronica's car in a Walmart parking lot. They arrested him for violating the restraining order and booked him into the Garfield County Jail. That's where two detectives from the Arvada Police Department visited Chris in the early morning on June the 20th to interrogate him about the final hours he spent with Veronica. The recent history with Chris's brother was a frequent topic of conversation.
I'm still confused. So how did you find out that her and Kelly had hooked up?
She was talking about my brother, and I knew that the way she was talking about him, that she was talking about him like they had hung out, and I asked her if she'd been fucking Kelly, and she told me she had been. And she told me she only did it once. But I happen to know since then that she had been doing it the whole time. She'd been telling me, look, wait till you read her messages.
So how do you know that? Like, you told me to look through the messages. So what is in the messages?
Her and Kelly hanging out all the time, as often as possible.
Okay. And how do you know that's in the phone? In the messages?
She told me that the night before, she just left, and she actually sent me an email telling me that she slept in a parking lot. But I don't know if you want to say I'm psychic or that I just know her, but I was like, bullshit, you went right to Kelly's. And then when she came back, I was like, I know you went to Kelly's last night. And she said, she just denied that she did. And I said, I need you to run away with me. I need you to commit to me. Let's go get away from drugs. Let's go get away from everything.
Chris repeatedly denied killing Veronica. He even went so far as to label her a stalker who was obsessed with him.
And we had talked about not talking anymore because we're poisoned for each other. We can't stop. But if she had to choose one or the other, and she chose my brother. But you'll see, she goes in Summit County. We went and we ate dinner. She went to the ATM and got me money. She takes care of me, dude. Although she's with my brother and having sex with him, she's infatuated with me. Look through all her. She is a stalker. She's my stalker. She hacks all my emails. She calls my work, you know what I mean? She's obsessed with me. But she wanted my brother. And she wouldn't, she was saying, yeah, I want to run away with you, but I still want to stay with my brother, but she couldn't tell me she wanted to stay. And I said, I want you to be happy. I wanted to run. The only one of the biggest reasons that I ran for my probation was to keep her sober. She is beautiful when she's sober. I want my brother's done. I gave in. I was like, if that's what you want, let's just stay, but I need help. And you could tell she felt guilty. That's why she gave me the money and let me take her car, because she felt guilty. But it was the drugs. I could tell that without drugs, my brother would have no contest with me. I could win it hands down. You know what I mean?
But that was all the same day then, right? Am I understanding you right? Okay. Do you remember what time she got up there to, because you said she wasn't staying there, right? So that room was for you, she bought it for you, but she wasn't staying there?
She came, I don't know exactly when it was, but she came in the afternoon.
Okay.
And she had rented the room for me. She was with me the night before until about 8 or 9, and then she took off to Denver. Like I said, where I called her a lot. I knew. Guys, I'm not going to sit here and say that I think that I'm psychic, but I think that when you're really in love with somebody, and me and Veronica are in love, and I don't want to have this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
So,
Chris, who was 36 years old at the time he killed Veronica, told investigators that the bad blood with his brother went back a long time, way before Veronica came on the scene. It started in their childhood.
And he threatens me. He threatens me. Every time, it's either do what he says, he'll beat shit out of me. You know what I mean? Literally. And it's been that way since I was a kid. They used to torture me when I was a kid, beat me up, give me fake garb, fucking smother me, and I was just a little boy. You know what I mean? And then they'd talk me into being on their side again and forgiving them. And I'd lie to my parents and say I was on my bike when I got hurt. You know what I mean? And it was really my brother been beating the shit out of me all day. And when you look through her messages, I guarantee my brother, I know my brother, dude. He's just user 101. He'll milk you fucking dry until you ain't got nothing left, and then still drown you after that if you let him, because he's done it to me. You know what I'm saying? He's done it to her.
4 months after Chris went to jail, he had a surprise video visit from his younger brother, Kenny. It was so unexpected that he hadn't even thought to check the visitor log. The intersection between these two brothers was a stark contrast for the animosity Chris felt towards his older brother, Kelly. He was clearly moved to hear from his younger brother, Kenny, and thrilled that his little brother made such an effort to contact him while in custody.
Let me get a headset. Hold on, I didn't expect you to be there. Give me a second.
I can't believe you're calling. Yeah, I can't believe you're calling. I can't believe you're calling me, dude. I can't believe you're calling me.
Hello. How you doing? It's loud in there, huh?
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, bro.
You look good, man. I like that beard.
Yeah, you look good too, bro.
What's your name?
Hey, you have no idea what it means to me. You called me.
Well, dude, I didn't even know, what was going on. I've got your back, dude. Forever. I'll never quit that.
Well, I'm here to tell you, man, life's tough, brother.
Don't ever give up on nothing I got for you, bud.
Yeah, do you know what's going on with me, bro? Do you have any idea?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, well, sometime I need to write you some letters.
Yeah.
I need to yeah, we you know, I'm facing a lot of trouble.
I understand. And we need
But yeah, I mean,
you still need to keep positive and do the best you can, man. You know what I'm saying?
I am, dude.
I'm not saying you're
you
not.
have no idea.
I know. I just know how it could be, and I know how I'd be, man. And I'd want your help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, you know, one thing I need you to do is I need you to be there.
Yeah. Well, and I've reached out. You know, and I'll definitely be there, dude.
She needs you. If I'm not gonna be there, I mean, you might as well. You know.
Oh, for sure, man. You got it.
Please.
Yep.
I wouldn't even look to see that I had a visit, man, and one of the guys came over and was like, "Hey, you got a visit," and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, this is the second one, and I just had the phone sitting there because I already called the officer trying to get some help, seeing if I could get through to you, because they're basically saying that if you don't look for it, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, no, and I just, you know, I'd expected to probably never talk to anybody ever again. you know, I don't know.
No, don't think like that, brother, man. Don't think like that. I got your back, and I love you, dude. And you and I are brothers to the end, man, no matter what. And I got your back, and do whatever I can to help out, no matter what.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
I know, I love you, man. I love you, dude.
Fucking it.
Chris didn't discuss the details of his case with Kenny. He told him he couldn't talk about it because it wasn't resolved yet. Kenny said that was fine with him. One topic Chris didn't shy away from discussing was his young daughter from a previous relationship. He repeatedly begged Kenny to be a presence in her life so she wouldn't lose her connection to the Moffat side of the family. Kenny promised he would do everything he could to make sure that didn't happen.
I basically go to bed every night thinking that I'm never going to you ever again.
Yeah, well, I'll try as best I can to help bridge that gap, man. If I can, you know what I'm saying?
But you got to be there for her. I mean, you might as well. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, she needs a male role model in her life that'll tell her that she's beautiful and she's smart, and that way she doesn't have underlying issues with men when she gets older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, I can't believe I'm talking to you, bro. I thought I'd never talk to anybody ever again. I mean, you know what I mean? That's what, when I go to bed, that's what I think every night, dude.
Yeah, you don't ever want that feeling. I'll talk to you, man.
Yeah, you don't ever want that feeling. I mean, you don't even know how much this means to me, bro. This means the world, dude.
Well, it was cool to look at the phone and see your face, dude. I was about to hang up on the fucking thing because I'd already been waiting for.
Well, I would have never looked at it.
This is the second time I've done this. This is the second time I've done this.
No, I never come over to this kiosk like I would have never have guessed, bro. It means the world to me.
Well, thank that dude, man. Because I appreciate that too.
No,
I don't know what he did.
I love you. I love you with all my heart and soul, Kenny.
I love you too, man. I love you too.
I'm so glad you're doing good, man. I can't even believe it.
No fucking way.
Chris and Kenny started having regular video calls from the jailhouse, and they give a glimpse into what daily life is like for inmates.
It's been kind of crazy. Last night, somebody tried to escape out of here.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, they tried to climb the cage and pry it open and get out of here.
They know where you're going.
No, yeah, they make it pretty much impossible, but you know,
the whole world like that nowadays, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, no, dude, I think dude was facing like, you know, a couple 100 years though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah. Pretty crazy.
Oh, you see there, we're all locked down. They make us stay in these little rooms here. They're like little caves.
Did they change that?
Each one of these. No, all this out here is like the day room, and then these little rooms right here are 12-man caves. Yeah,
Okay,
they
I
got
see 'em.
12 beds in there. Yeah. And you see the dudes hanging out. We're in lockdown right now, so we can't even come out in this room unless and they letting me out because I have a visit. Otherwise, we can't even be out here in this big room right now.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
it's called. Yeah, and they lock us down. We're locked down at night, and then we're locked down after breakfast and after lunch and
All
after
because of
dinner.
that, what happened over there?
Yeah, but what happened, them trying to get out of here, no, they locked us down all day, and you know, that happens, sometimes they lock the whole facility down like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Pretty crazy.
And then I got my beard trimmed up a little bit, otherwise I was pretty shaggy, and I don't even realize it because of the mirrors in here, you can't even barely see into them.
Looking at yourself.
Yeah. They're not glass. They're made out of metal, and you know, people have been washing them, and they made them to where you can't barely see into them.
It's all it is just a polished surface.
Exactly.
You got 10 minutes of buffing first.
Exactly. It's kind of like trying to shave into a kitchen sink. You know what I mean? You know, like looking into a kitchen sink.
You know, every now and again you can catch something.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I can tell I got an orange shirt on, but that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah. The whole fucking thing.
Oh, for real. But, absolutely. And then tomorrow we get commissary. Thank you for that. Everybody's running around on shots of coffee and eating honey buns. Yeah, it's a little different around here on Saturdays.
And is it different than where you were at before?
Yeah, you know, there we were kind of stuck in our cell most of the day, and so you were in there by yourself or with a cellie, and here it's kind of an open environment, and so yeah, there's lots of wheeling and dealing that goes on.
Okay. Is it better or is it worse?
It's better. It's better for time and better for my mind, and you know, I'm not staring at the wall, but I'll talk to you in a couple of days, brother. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Love you too, man.
All right.
Good to see
Awesome.
you. Looking good, man.
The day before Thanksgiving, Chris's dad joined in on the video visit with Kenny. It was an emotional father and son moment.
Dude, I stay pretty happy in here, and you know, there's a little bit of negativity with, you know, some guys going through some tough stuff, but a lot of us guys are reading the Bible together, and you know, we got our own little cave of people. It's like about 10 people that we sleep real close to. You know, there's no cell door or anything to keep us in this big room, but we got our little caves, man, and we got a pretty good cave of guys, you know. You know, talk about God a lot and pray and try to keep things upbeat and happy, and so, you know, things go good, man.
Yeah, no, that's
Absolutely.
good. You gotta keep it as positive as you can. Yep. You know that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And no matter what, Dad, you know, things get tough, but don't you worry. You know, we need to be happy and you know, what time we've got and the communication that we can get into and letters and talking. You know, make sure to stay happy, Dad. You know, I love you with all my heart and soul, and I miss you all the time, and I think about you all the time, and that's really what's important. I got you.
It's a tough one. I know.
I know, Dad. Don't you worry. I wish I was there to see you, and you never know how things will work out, but you know, you're in my heart and on my mind almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's what's important. I love you.
Love you too. All right. Yeah.
In the end, Chris's plan to frame his brother fell apart because investigators didn't believe his story. Security cameras contradicted his account, and the lab results confirmed what police already suspected. Chris's DNA was found on Veronica's hands and neck. Kelly's DNA was not present. The autopsy report stated that Veronica had suffered bruising and abrasions to her lips, eyes, throat, neck, and shoulders. The cause of death was manual strangulation. Christopher Moffat pled guilty in 2021. The plea deal dropped the original charges of first-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence. Jefferson County Judge Diego Hunt sentenced Chris to 40 years in prison for second-degree murder and 15 years for tampering with a deceased human body, plus 8 years on parole. If you found this case compelling, don't forget to like the video, comment down below your take on it, and please subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 1 million, and we'd love to have you along. Also, hit the notification bell in order to stay up to date each time we reveal a new shocking case. Until next time, stay safe and keep your eyes peeled. You never know what's lurking in the shadows.